Wonderful people, viewers and subscribers, you're welcome back again. This is BVI Channel 1 and I'm also Channel Peters. Regarding our agricultural project, the agricultural investment program we are putting together. I and my team will be heading off to Achala community in Oka North local government to see the traditional ruler and have a discussion as to the position of the community, the prospect of the community, and the potential it holds for us in this very agricultural project, and as well, get his own opinion as to his plans to develop that community. So you join me as we head off to Achala community. Yeah, wonderful people, viewers and subscribers, you're welcome back again. This is BVI Channel 1, Onion Dono Biego, Igwe, in the Achala community in Oka North, if I'm not mistaken, in Anambra State. And it's a pleasure to be here to discuss very important issues directed for the benefit and development of our homeland. And it's my pleasure to have him. I'm not big enough. I thought a Zuromoke to introduce him, but by the time you know whom I'm talking about and whom I'm sitting with, you will understand the importance of this very conversation that we'll be having today. Sir Igwe, it's a pleasure to have you on our program. This is BVI Channel 1. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now, for the benefit of Igbo, who are our vast followers, but they have the interest of Igbo, maybe as tourists or people who have business interests in our homeland, talking about business development, talking about infrastructural development of our homeland, and advancement of Igbo land generally, and as a custodian of our customs and tradition, talking about Achala community. So we want to have a little overview about this wonderful community and the potentials it has, but not just in the Achala, but the entire Igbo land.
Well, thank you very much, Chinedu. As a traditional ruler that I am, sorry, I might have to devolve a bit, and I go good off. Igbo bi Igwe ekene mu no mamano
Dalusa
mono dieno zono ogadila in Chinese name ma if I na chop if I gafu if na chu anya ma fu anyi ana you first then of chukwu na bia makela anyi in Chinese no agala in Chinese name ma so that put in perspective. You're welcome to Achala community. As you have seen, Achala is a community in the Oka North, actually the capital of Oka North local government in Anambra State. And it's a community that's open, as I always tell people, we're open for business. There's a lot it is that's available here in Achala for those who are willing to, for settlers, people who want to come and do business, people who want to come and do tourism. Depends on what it is you want, but what we actually are looking for is that we're looking for partners, people who will partner with us in the development of this community. We're looking for aggregate partners, people who are going to be able to join forces with us in our developmental efforts. Our developmental efforts are not sporadic. We're looking for planned development. We're looking for a development that's going to bring about tourism, bring about an industrial hub, and generally bring goodwill to the people of Achala, and indeed Oka North, and by extension Anambra State and our need. So the the choices, I mean the things to be done, I mean, it depends on what it is the person is looking for. So I'm happy that you people are here today to look at Achala. I also wish that some other time you can come so that we can go around and see the potentials it is that Achala offers to the investors in our community. We have vast lands. Indeed, I don't know if there's any community in Anambra State that has the amount of land that we have presently as it is. And they stretch from waterlogged soils to highland areas. We have spaces for forestry development. Indeed, my house is bordered to a forest, as it is forest reserve. We have a river coursing through Achala, and of course the land is endless, and we are looking for people who are willing to. Achala, from the times past, is known for rice production, but beyond rice, we also do a lot of things. Initially, we were known for groundnuts. Government groundnut lost its appeal as it previously was. Actually, the key thing that we used to do in Achala was groundnuts. But subsequently, people evolved to rice. Rice is doing quite well in Achala. Indeed, I had some people that came in from Achala. I came in from Port Harcourt during my coronation last year in October. There's a young man that came who's doing things with Ajib and Total. They are doing community development for people in, I think, Omoko or Bagi in River State. They are doing rice, highland rice development for them in Obagi. So he came to Achala. He was passing through Oye and he saw the grain of rice that we had. So he took pictures of the rice that we had. And indeed, it was the long grain rice that they were thinking of going to bring in. He sent the pictures to me. Indeed, I've been eating this rice for so long, I didn't even know the importance of it. But here it's known as mass. It's the prime crop of rice, people who cultivate rice. There's still the other ones, but then mass is the most expensive basically. And it says basically it's a long grain rice. And that's what they want to do, is to come and see how they can partner with us to start mass production of it, the mechanical production of it more like. Because that's what we lack here. That is for rice. Then palm plantation, some people have come to us that they want to do a sugar plantation. We are still in process, we are still discussing with them. Then the government came up with the palm tree revolution, palm tree and coconut tree revolution that they want to do. And I laugh because it's something I've been canvassing. Indeed, I've been going to them, but then we had a meeting with the governor last Tuesday. And the governor mentioned the fact that he's willing to buy up every seedling that's anywhere in Nigeria that is the new, what they call it again, the seedling that does better than the rest of them that they have in the market. And he was willing to distribute it to whatever extent it is that your land can offer. And I said, okay, fine, so we're open for business. I've discussed with the people in charge, like he said we should. And we're hoping that they will come and look at the place to see what it is, do a soil test, and see how it is that they can partner with us in terms of that land. And that's for coconuts and then palm nuts. There's still the space for leisure. I mean, we have a river here, and then we have land that is endless. Who says we can have a golf course here? We can have a golf course here. We can have a country club here. Indeed, the distance between Achala and Oka, the state capital, if the new road that they are doing that's going to cost the local government comes on stream, it's about 12 minutes.
12 minutes drive.
12 minutes drive.
And you're in the heart of Oka.
You're in the heart of Oka. And indeed, if you because you want to go through Amanuke, if you actually do a direct course from the other end of Achala, heading towards Oka, through Isu, going towards Oka, you're looking like about 5 minutes.
Wow.
And you'll be in Rockland. So it's the opportunities are endless. And like I did advise when I spoke with the deputy governor, I explained to him, I said, okay, the thing to do, we're happy that somebody visionary like Soludo is here, and I've listened to him speak, and he has, in his heart, there's a burning desire to turn Anambra around, and I feel his pain when people it is who he's supposed to do these things with are not breathing at the same wavelength as he is. But it is something times like that, what you want to do is to explain. You have to break it down for people to be able to understand. When people are used to doing things in a particular way, to get them to change is a very difficult thing. The inertia, there's so much inertia for the people to move from one stage of life to the other. Because what you know is what you know. What you don't know, you don't trust. Because you don't know if you step away from this your comfort zone and you step into this other comfort zone, it's going to cost you whatever it is that you're enjoying presently. So for every sad situation, some people are benefiting. And for you to get them to shift away from those grounds where they are, most times you have to shove them. And that's the difficulty in governance. Most decisions that you take may not be popular. So you may have to devolve into what they call tough love. Tough love to the extent that when you're doing it at the time, the person it is that you're trying to prime to do the right thing will be seeing you as somebody who is against his well-being. But basically what you do in leadership is overriding public interest, not personal interest of few. It has to be overriding. And once you can convince yourself and your conscience that what you're doing is for the betterment of the whole of the community, so to speak, because you really can't get 100%. Yeah. All right. So once you once you can convince yourself that what you're doing is for a majority of the people, you go ahead and do it. Hopefully in time. But the thing to do, see it to fruition. Because if you start halfway and you don't complete it, the issue becomes, we said it. It's all talk and no action. Yeah. So the thing to do is start it and by all means complete it. Okay. And then, but it's a gradual thing. It's a stage by stage process. To the extent that people, after a while, it no longer becomes like when the Singaporean revolution was starting. Lee Kuan Yew was he was mostly seen as an outcast. The first set of people that they had to move out in Singapore to fix the areas where they were living in were fighting. They had to bring in the army and they had to bring in the police to evacuate them. But as soon as they were finished, and they invited those same people to come and take over their spaces as allotted to them after the completion. By the time they moved to the next settlement, those who were falling all over themselves to offer their houses for demolition and rebuilding. Because they've now seen what the government is doing, that they said they were going to do this, and they've done it. Today we look at Singapore and everybody says, hey, Singapore is on a different level. Alright, but somebody had to lay his life down, somebody had to lay his reputation down, somebody had to take all the courses, all the abuses for it to happen. I'm having the same thing here. I've not been here for so long. I've just been here since October. But I won't say October because essentially in Achala, the moment you leave our sacred gowns, known as Amirom, you are Igbo of Achala. So the party we had, which is what we call the coronation, only happened in October last year. But prior to that, I've been here for about a year. So I'll say for 2 years I've been here. And as they will say in my area, I've stood on one leg so long that I'm standing on 2 feet now jumping. I believe I have a good perspective of what it is that needs to be done and what the problem had been and what I think we do to better the problems that we're having. Some people still don't understand. They've gone ahead to carry campaigns of calumny, pictures of me and videos of me under our same caption of our dear fight that we're doing, which is the Biafran fight, so to speak. And they have called me all sorts of names. They say that I have joined people who are killing people, killing Biafrans and all that. But I laughed. In time, people have come to understand that it's all a bunch of lies. That no such thing happened. Nobody was killed, no house was burnt, nobody was indeed nobody has been arrested in Achala, so to speak. Everything that's happened so far. Those that were picked up were eventually released, but the people who did this thing didn't do it because they felt I was bad. They did it because they felt I was going to disturb the status quo, what they have been used to, their comfort zone,
their backward status.
Yeah, that's what they were scared of, and they did that. And in good conscience, I've stood my grounds, and I've explained to people. I've called like about 4 or 5 different community town hall meetings to explain to them where we're going. The need for us to be able to sit down with ourselves and tell ourselves the truth. If we're all saying that the way we are presently is what we want to change, you can't just say it and don't mean it. If you say it and you mean it, you have to make a move.
Yeah.
And if by making a move, I am going to step on some toes, so be it. So in the same vein, when we extrapolate what is happening in my village here to the rest of the African land, the issue remains, for how long shall we remain this way? How long are we going to remain this way? For how long are we going to sit aside blaming others for our own misfortune?
Exactly.
When are we going to charge ourselves, take our responsibility, and say, okay, fine.
Yeah.
This is an Igbo. We'll make it better.
Exactly.
We indeed have all it takes. We have the resources, we have well-primed individuals within Igbo land who have excelled. Soludo is here as our governor. We have Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala heading the World Trade Organization. We have so many people who have in time excelled in all their areas of endeavor. We had Emmanuel Eboga, he's dead now, rest his soul. Emmanuel Eboga was part of the Singaporean Revolution.
Wow.
Emmanuel Eboga was part of the Libyan Revolution that they did. But he came to Nigeria and he was stifled. So, if maybe what we should do is to find a way to bring our people to an Igbo. Let us start. Let us start by developing an Igbo. And then maybe after we finish developing an Igbo and people outside have seen what we can do here, then we can export what it is that we have and know to them. Otherwise, if you wake up in the morning, which is the problem I think we've been having, if you're a doctor and you wake up in the morning and you carry your syringe and you see a man walking outside, you look at him and be like, the way I'm seeing you, you're going to have malaria in 2 weeks. Let me give you an injection so that you will not have that malaria in 2 weeks. The man will say you want to kill me. But indeed, if you are a doctor and you go in and you see a man shaking and he's almost convulsing and you stop and say, what's the problem? You check his all his vital stats and everything points towards malaria and you say you want to bring the fever down. If you bring any injection at that point in time, please give me. Because it's at the point of death and he knows that he needs you at that time. But if you go to him when he doesn't need you, as far as that concerned, Igbo essentially have been developing cities around Nigeria. We have been developing Nigeria. I mean, where is it? Is it in the north? Is it in Lagos? Lagos is Igbo. Yeah. If you check the amount of money that is in Lagos, I would probably say about 65% of the money circulating in Lagos belong to Igbo. But then, do we get the kudos for that? We don't get kudos. All we do, we get pillory in the Igbo sense. You are doing this. I mean, the slightest thing that happens, Igbos are blamed for it. The last election, what should I call it, of Lagos, the traditional ruler, actually threatened. What's his name again? Akiolu actually threatened to drown in the Igbo. Drown all in the Igbo in Lagos. So for how long are we going to continue this? How long? Okay. Now, I think it was the last governor came up with the concept of Akuluno. Laudable. But Akuluno Megin. I mean, we all developed to ourselves. I mean, there are some things that we can't do now, all in the name of being legal. I mean, if you now, as you're here now, there are some things you will say, okay, fine, there's a limit to the patriotism I'm willing to afford in Igbo. Yeah. There's a level I will not step beyond. Okay, so somebody has done so well for himself, lives in Lagos, Lekki One, or Ikoyi, or wherever, any of those eyebrow areas, and you're dragging him to come back to Igbo. A big organ. Where is he going to stay? Okay, fine. So he builds a lovely house in Ngozika, one of those areas that are even not well primed. He finally builds a lovely house, and he ends there. No recreational activities till date.
No economic impact.
He can't get up in his house and the only of his days, okay, fine, I'm taking my wife out to dinner. Where will he go? In Oka. I'm speaking specifically from my own state, Anambra State. Where would you go? You're either in one hotel or the other. There are some nice hotels that have come up. But then there are hotels. Till date, as we speak, there's no country club in the whole of Oka. For recreation. For like a tourist attraction and all that. I mean,
Yeah, both things external and within.
So, yes, they will come. Yes, they will make furtive efforts at citing some industry or the other, or building a home here. But then, The moment they come for weekend, they stay Thursday, Friday. By this time, if you go to the airport in Igwe, it's busy. Everybody is jumping up back. But then we don't need them for the weekends. We need them for the weekdays. And for you to get them here for the weekdays, you better have something to keep them here for the weekdays. So this is where we're going to have to come. This is the crux that we have to come. So it's not something you just mention, which is why I say I pity. Is a good thing that he actually, after he appointed his commissioner, he told them I'm sorry, because there's a lot of work to be done. Yes.
He actually told them I'm sorry.
Yes, he said I'm sorry.
All of it.
That's the truth. There's a lot of work to be done, because if what we have is a situation where something had been done in the past. I'm not trying to denigrate anybody who's been there before. Yeah. But if there's something to build on, it's more like starting, okay, fine, I thank God for the airport that we have, but then it's just an airport. And then, how many of us fly? How many of us fly? So, yes, it's good for us to have had this airport that we have here, but what's the percentage of those who are going to benefit from the effects of that airport? How many of us are going to benefit from it? Let's say about 10% or 5% of our Anambras are going to benefit from the airport that was built there. Lovely airport, strategically well located, puts us on. It helps me.
Yeah, just as your backyard.
Precisely, as my backyard. If we start the agri-revolution we're talking about, some people were thinking of coming to do vegetables here. Yeah. The airport here was their key attraction. Because that means they can produce
and take away.
And you could produce something in the morning, cut it up, and it could be in England.
It could be in London in less than 7 hours.
6-7 hours in London.
Yeah, exactly. Fresh.
So I mean, it favors me.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, we can take advantage of that. But on the long, when you extrapolate it to so many other areas, we haven't gotten there yet. But we pray we get there.
We will.
To the time when we start having maximum benefits and effects of the airport that has been built.
Exactly.
Take that one out. What do we have? What do we have? We don't even have roads. Achala, the state capital.
I did a video on that just about 2 weeks ago. In fact, the response was just so much.
But then you see that the people are hungry.
Yeah.
People are hungry for some planned development. So you go to the estate known as Ngozeka, which is the prime estate they have in Malta. Yeah. You're seeing a plot of land for like 50 million. 50 million for nothing. The road is not tarred, no drainage, nothing. But then it's going for 50 million naira. What does it tell you? If you do one that is well planned and well situated, they are willing to pay 100 million naira.
Exactly.
Then you can say that Ako Eluguno.
How about people that had that capital?
Then you will say that Ako Eluguno.
Yeah, exactly.
If somebody comes to Achala now and sites a huge industry, an agric industry here, and he has a decent place where he can stay, make a place here, or if you decide to go to the highbrow area in Rockland, which could take you 5 minutes if you pay a road for it,
exactly,
and you have a lovely place to stay. Why go to Lagos and get insulted?
Come on. Come on. Exactly.
Why go to Lagos and get insulted? Now, the agric firm I told you, the Israelis I was talking with, they wanted to come and site a vegetable agric firm here. Vegetables, purely vegetables. Was what they wanted to do here. And what they were telling me was like, after 5 years they are out. They would have made their money. They intend to spend, they say, $5.something million. After 5 years they are done and they are gone. They would have made their money, made their profit as much as they would have, and they are gone.
Just 5 years.
5 years they are gone.
You can see, Ego Dinabai.
5 years.
It's just right here.
And we're talking about it. We're still discussing about it. I'm expecting them to come, for them to come and look at the place. So, if you have something like that, and in 5 minutes that you are in Oka, I mean, if you do a business of about 8-point-something or $5-point-something million, and you break even in how many years? In 5 years, and you have made profit and you're out. It's endless.
Honestly, in fact, eventually, the things that I wanted to ask you, you just put it up all in a summary. Because I wanted to ask the potentials that Achala holds. Because from what we've said and from what we've seen, this community is very strategic.
Achala is a diamond in the rough. It's a diamond in the rough. All we need to do is to polish it. And then, it's amazing how people can see what I'm saying. But then it's all in God's good time.
Of course. And the time is now. The point is that Why we are here is because the time is now. And I must tell you, those of you who have listened, we're just taking it bit by bit because we don't have all the stretch of time. Don't worry, we have a whole lot to offer to our people, especially those of you who are from this community, who are in diaspora watching this video. It is time to turn back home and know that where you come from is a paradise. And you've got something right here. It is time for you to come back home and put something on the ground. And I appreciate you, sir, for giving us this wonderful moment. And I hope, because driving in here, I saw the potential, but the infrastructure is what we are looking at for the governor of Anambra State to do an immediate. In fact, when you said something about you don't want to put down the previous people who have been in government and the rest of them, honestly speaking, Anambra State has the potential to be transformed, and I thank God that the governor in place has the vision, but it needs the effort of our people to transform that vision into reality. And the people like you holding the custodian of the communities, honestly speaking, is a great gift and resource for this community. What's your word for our people in terms of the potential this community holds, both for the government and for individuals?
For individuals within Achala, even outside of Achala, we have a lot of settlers here. There's everything to gain. All you need to do is to reach out. We are reaching out to governments. The government on its own is talking about an agri revolution, and we're offering everything it is that they need. In fact, it's a one-stop shop for the government. We have everything they need. We have power, potentials of power, I'd say. Gas is key. We have gas, we have endless land, and we have water. What more do you need? So what I would tell people who are here now is just be patient. I think in times past we have been winking in the dark. Now with people like you who are coming, who are partnering with us to let the world know what it is that we are offering.
Exactly.
I am intending to travel abroad very soon. I also intend to take the message, take the gospel that we're preaching here outside the shores of Nigeria. Let people see what potential is that we have here. We intend to partner with the governor, I see him as a visionary, and I want to tie him with whatever vision he has for Anambra State, and make sure that he brings it to reality. Right. So it doesn't just end up being a visionary. You know, exactly. We want to see that vision realized. Exactly. It's a short period of time, 4 years in a political lifetime. It's not so much. You know, which is the problem that most people who have come in, you think is a long time. It's a very short time. Because the way it works, especially in the Nigerian context, you get into power. First 1 year, you're trying to
get your bearing and all that.
Maybe what you had been before the handover, some things that you thought was the way they are ended up not being the way they were when you got on ground. You have to find a way to ameliorate those circumstances. That by the time you get running,
accidental public servant, that's what we call it. That's the result.
By the time you get running and you want to start,
2 years, I got 3 years.
3 years is gone, and then you're facing an election. And then these people, the electorates are Shylocks. They want to eat their cake.
Yes.
And then have it. You want good governance, but then what you want to do is to share the booty. So if you get in there and you do what you're supposed to do and you don't share the booty, they're waiting for you on that election day.
Exactly.
Alright? So you who you have the vision in your mind and you want to see it realized, you have to cut in between not being excessive in terms of your cake sharing and being able to manage the state that is in a precarious circumstance and yet face an election. And then somebody is on the outside who hasn't been on the inside, that has a stash, and he's distributing, sharing, and telling them, don't mind this man, this one you're seeing is just the tip of the iceberg. Let me get in there and see what will happen. Alright? So it's a difficult thing. You know, it's a difficult thing. I really don't envy them. I mean, maybe if in my own case, I don't face re-election. I am here, I'm here. If I'm good for Achala. If I'm bad, my brother, you have to wait until I die. There's no impeachment. It's not the record books of Achala. Except I die. If not, you have to. If the governor gets so pissed off that this way this man is going, the community is not happy and he decides to remove me, he withdraws my certificate. I'm no longer the Igwe of Achala. There will not be any Igwe in Achala until I die. That's the way it works. You understand? So for them people face the electorate every 4 years? Will you really say? I would say 2 years, really, because the first year you're struggling to learn the ropes and know where you're headed. So Luda has been running around the whole place, packing beans and all that. I wonder how far. When the governor starts talking about bean, you know, he's an economist who has been able to. I mean, Ghana is living today thanks to him. He's done so much for the economy. He's also consulting for United Nations and all that. He comes into Anambra State to rule Anambra and he's dealing with beans.
So what?
Is that to take care of trash on the streets first before he actually brings his economic well-being to bear on the station it is that we have in Anambra? So I doubt that man sleeps. I doubt he sleeps. And except he has people who can walk at the same pace as him, I really don't envy him. Honestly. Because he has a burning desire to make. I mean, you can't have done. We did what he did in Central Bank. He turned like before. Some people were burying monies in their houses because you're not sure. You put your money in this bank today, the bank is closed. Ever since he did what has any bank shut down in Nigeria? No. So he will want to make the same mark in Anambra State. Anambra, don't be immoral.
honestly, in fact, to be honest with you, I never knew the best thing that happened to this very community is having him. Honestly speaking, he is loaded. You are hearing it and you're seeing it for yourself. And I tell you, we are just at Genesis. By the time we get to Matthew, before talking about getting to Revelation, you understand that really an Igbo has the potential, the character, the people to transform our homeland to the El Dorado we seek. And honestly speaking, it has been a pleasure listening to you and hearing from the wealth of your knowledge. And we hope we're going to transform it as we're going to partner with this community on agriculture, on environmental development, and infrastructurally wise. This community is seriously sited in a good position. And I can tell you that it is time for us to wake up and rebuild our homeland. It's a pleasure having you, and we'll be coming around by the time we start introducing some of the agricultural activities which you've mentioned and which the state is also committed. The potential is just out there. We're talking about tourism, we're talking about, just name it. Honestly speaking, Achala is a place to be. And I tell you, my people, get ready because it's about to happen. Sir, it's a pleasure to have you once again.
Thank you so much.
I will be coming around to tap from your wealth of knowledge. Honestly speaking, I was in a slot on BVI Channel 1. Honestly speaking, thank you very much for watching this far. We don't hope to keep you this long, but I believe you would have wished we continue. But if I lose Erika, where we're heading up from this place is another community while we continue on this drive to transform our homeland. I'm asking you to Peters, stay connected to this platform BVI Channel 1. I can tell you, you have a whole lot to learn. Bye bye for now. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Drop your comments. Let me have your opinion. Bye bye for now.